welcome to Berke Creations podcast. This is a knitting podcast from Transylvania and my name is Sophie, and I am a single mom building a homestead with my three-year-old son, and besides gardening, my big passion is knitting. Welcome and welcome back. It's been a while. I do have a couple projects to share with you, but forgive me if I'm too rusty and all of this. I was very much thinking on how to make this podcast a little bit different. I'm not so happy anymore about this journaling style of presenting what I do or what I did. I don't know if you like this. I would really much appreciate your feedbacks. Sometimes I would like to record like on a daily basis little snippets and put all that into the process of making of a garment, but with a hectic lifestyle at the moment, while we are building a homestead and a garden, a veggie garden, a cut flower garden, all of this new starts doesn't really allow room for me to run around with my tripod and camera. I guess I have to get used to that. But still, I want to make something new and different. At the moment, I'm just catching up with you guys and showing a few projects and let you know I am here. I really loved making my DIY videos in December, and I think I made a few in January, one podcast, but then you heard nothing about me. But I am fine, and if you want to know more about personal stuff, you can check out at the end. Okay, so the first project I'm gonna share at the moment are some socks. I just really felt the need of something springy, and I really loved this yarn. I don't know the name, it's just some kind of sock yarn, and I made a pair with contrasting grey heels and toes and ribbing. Of course, one of them still needs to have the ends woven in. I did a big stupid thing. I don't know why I got this idea. Oh yes, no. I cast it on 60 stitches, and I always find, because of my loose gauge, I cannot achieve this tight gauge even on 2mm needles. So I had here 60 stitches, and then I had 56 here. I decreased too much, so you can see that's why it has this wobbly shape. But actually it is gonna go to my sister now for Easter gift, knit for her. She's very happy. It's the first time she receives socks from me. So it's just a simple vanilla socks, and I still have enough left of this yarn, which somehow speaks to me. I don't know, this flowery colors, the green and the pink together, and so I'm gonna make one pair for myself, sister sock, with a grey, alternating grey and this colorful skein. Yeah, just stripes. And here you can see the first bouquet of the year. So I'm really much investing a little bit of time and money into new cut flowers for this year, and I bought much more bulbs than last year. Beautiful daffodils. And do you know, you should not mix daffodils with other flowers right away, because they have a sap that will kill the other flowers. So you have to let them sit a few hours separately in a clean water and then change it. If you cut it, it's the same thing. If you cut the stems again, just a little tip. Yeah, I really much, I'm working on updating my other channel about our homestead and the garden. Spring has sprung very quickly now. It was like really cold in the beginning. I didn't want to loosen up, and then now it's like suddenly so much going on. And yeah, I really got into this springy feeling. And do you remember last year I had some ranunculus flowers in the garden, and the first bloom was yellow, and I started my yellow ranunculus sweater with this yarn, this mohair and mohair and wool blend. So it's like a really scratchy mohair, and I think it has a lot of wool. And I realized that the yarn doesn't fit the project, so I ripped it back, and I was like, I am still in need of this craving for this fluffy, cozy, very striking, yellowy, like little baby chick color of garment. And mostly I envision a very loose cardigan without buttons, long one as possible. And but of course my yarn was not enough from that ripped out project, was not enough for a whole cardigan. So I started just a simple raglan one, and you can see I used the contrasting other colors because, as I said, my yarn was not enough. Actually, it was absolutely not enough for what I wanted. So I had to make these colored blocks on a bottom, and I don't know if you can see the whole garment. Oh, yeah, it looks like something like this. Yeah. So I really wanted something fluffy and cozy and long with pockets in this mohair. But then choosing this yarn has absolutely different gauge than the yellow one, and I couldn't be bothered to check the gauge and adjust my measurements or adjust my stitch count. And I also cannot really rip back this yarn. I don't know what it has in it. It's some kind of plasticky mohair, I think, both of it, or alpaca also. It really holds together. Maybe it's a blend of everything. So to save this garment, because of course it's not flattering to have this bulky loose side up here and then go down and cinched in. Actually it should be an other way around, right? More fitted on the top and more relaxed on the bottom, at least for my taste. So to save this, I decided I'm gonna just fold it back, fold these color blocks back, so outside is gonna be orange, inside is gonna be red, and I will stitch it down, and it's gonna be like a really wide, really robust hem line, and I kind of like that. So stay tuned for this. I don't know what's happening to me, but I cannot finish the project. It's like on the last steps I always I always change my direction. I lose totally my interest. On the last step I give up, I put it aside, saying, oh, I'm finished, I will do it later. But then you never do it. So yeah, this is something that I'm looking forward to wear, but it's still something that I want to have another one, a proper one, you know, like a, okay, raglan shape cardi, fluffy and roomy, but long and with the pockets. Yes, that's something. If you have a pattern recommendation for this, I'm very open to that. Otherwise I just freestyled a raglan, and maybe it's not the best shaping sometimes, yeah, but this is still manageable, and yeah, it's something I made 100%. Okay, so another very, very, very interesting cardigan that's also in the same shape like this one, without the ends woven in and without all the little details worked out and or finished, all the little steps finished, is one of from my Make 9. If you want to see my Make 9, here is a picture of it. And you can go back and watch that video where I talk about my Make 9. So the one of them is what is this called? Okay, I put the name here. I totally forget. Autumn Manifold jacket. Yeah, it's the Autumn Manifold jacket by Svetlana Gordon. Yeah, Russian designer, and I actually managed to make it in the original yarn. So the recommended yarn for this is Noro crayon, Japanese yarn, and is 100% wool, 50 grams or 100 meters. So is that a what weight is? I completely forget the terms. Correct me there. So this is how the jacket looks like now. It has a hood. Here is the hood and the body, and this is the hem portion. And you can actually see that I have the sleeves in a different type of colored variation, and the back and the hood in another one. So yeah, I did not have enough from one colorway of the Noro, so I had two kind of colorways and I used them. But because this is like such a playful and such intricate yarn with so many so much changes and bits and bobs, and it's like it's reflecting all the colors, so somehow they work. I think they work together very well, and you can see how crazy this technique and this thing looks like. Yeah, it was really fun to make it. I don't want to give away about the technique so much. You cannot really see on a picture, but this has a little bit, so many holes. But still super warm because of this wool and of the ridges and all that air pockets in it. And so the technique is really interesting and really cool. And I learned something very, very fascinating with this. I didn't know that I can knit backwards, because you actually knit this piece in one. You start from one sleeve, and then you bind off and pick up again and stuff like that. Cast on again for to make the hood and the back piece, but all it goes together. And then you start you're decreasing and bind off again to make the other sleeve. So you're coming all the way like this in a big piece. In the end, you have to seam a little bit. A little bit, yeah. You have to seam the sleeves and the sides. So, and what was I? Yeah, and because the portion where after the first sleeve you get on the back, you have so much yarn and so much weight, and these repetitions on these little bubbly things or ridges require you to turn your work like very many times, like 6 times for one ridge, actually, I think. And so she recommends to use to knit backwards, so you never have to turn your work. I was just only knitting and not purling actually anymore so much, just knitting on one side all the time, and I was going back and forth on my needles without turning my work and without have to purl. So that was so interesting. I don't know if I did the official way how they do it. She just said it, tried to knit backwards, but I didn't read how to do that or didn't watch any YouTube videos. I just tried to myself, how would I do it if I should knit backwards? And I could do it, so that was pretty amazing. So yes, this is a super fun project, and I really recommend you check out Svetlana Gordon's page. You know, unfortunately, now with the situation in the world, something that is for me was a little bit shocking, and all this, it's pretty shocking. I cannot buy any more patterns from her because of the PayPal thing, so I cannot pay with PayPal. So, but I think she has a free pattern, a scarf you can make, and also I guess yeah, I guess there will be other possibilities, but I really love her designs, and I'm so happy that I had this in my Ep.19, and this was the first that I casted on in January. So yeah, so what I have to do to finish completely this project is something that of course the ends, but the pattern itself on a hem, or on a bottom hem, yes, has all this knitted in around, but I actually redid this section 3 times because I didn't like the result, I didn't like the yarn. I ran out of my Norway yarn here, so you can see this is like a completely different kind of yarn. I actually ran out over here on this ridge, and I found oh yeah, beautiful color changes. So, and I found something, I had one skein of interesting yarn, which is for me, it's like, wow, it was so fun to work with. It has 70% wool and 30% soybean. So I have a little section made with this type of yarn. And it was really fun. It has so much shine to it. It's just this last ridge. It has so much shine to it, and the color change, it was more subtle and more wider range. Okay, so the hem. The hem this is also in a completely different yarn. I had only one skein of it, and I changed it. I didn't knit all in around to close it up completely. I didn't like that kind of feeling of, so I'm gonna have to install here zipper, yeah, zip band, zipper, yes, zip it. And something I'm not happy with, it's the hood. I think it's too narrow for me, so I'm actually thinking to pick up some extra stitches here, pick up around here, just from, how to say, at the end of the zip line, to pick up for the hood, and knit some extra fabric there. Maybe actually I could knit another of these ridges, complete ridges, and yeah, it's just I don't have any more yarn like this kind of a weight. It's a pretty heavy weight, 100 meters on 50 gram. Yeah, is it a DK or worsted? I forgot. Anyway, so I think it would be like worsted. So the first project of the year that is almost done. Anyway, cannot wear it now anymore. It's like really super warm with this wool. So yes, I really recommend the Japanese, did I say Norway's Japanese yarn made in Japan? Yeah, I don't know, I'm so attracted to Japanese things and language and writing and everything, so for me it was like a delight to use this yarn. So I really recommend. It's how to say, it's not the perfect yarn. In some places it's thinner, and then it's not that thin anymore, and I had also places where it was broken, the yarn, and how to say, knotted together. So yeah, it had knots, but yeah, I think I enjoy that kind of texture of For example, here you can see how these little bobs of the other color push in there, and yeah, a little bit thicker and stands out. But that's the nature of this yarn, and it's really 100% untreated wool, so it's wonderful to work with. This is gonna be such a crazy jacket. Maybe I want to turn in one day into a grandma who wears such colorful and almost like astronaut style of clothes. So yeah. I have other projects also, but I will show them slowly on. Before you ask what I'm wearing, this is the Wanderling by Isabel Kramer. Yes, Wanderling by Isabel Kramer. And this was my first garment that I knitted when I started knitting again. So, and other than that, oh yeah, what I am really much in how to say in need of casting on. I'm like really much waiting for this to cast on. But I tried to stop myself because I have like a huge pile, probably more than 20 projects that are in this stage where are not finished or maybe needs a little bit more to be finished. And I have many of them are projects that I want to frog actually. So my idea is now every time I want to cast on something new, I have to finish 3 projects that are not done or not 100%. So either frogging, either like reclaiming the yarn, either weaving in the ends, or making all the changes to make it more wearable. So before I cast on this exciting next project, which is all cooped up by the name I put here. This is also in my Make-9. This beautiful chicken pullover. I really want this one because right now we actually are building an A-frame chicken tractor, so a movable structure for our future chickens that are coming soon. So for this I am so excited about having a jumper with a big chicken, and actually I wanted to make this one for my son, but I don't know if she has the baby version, I didn't check, or the toddler version. So still, anyway, before I make it for him, I figured it's better I make it once for myself, and then I see how much I can change it up to make it for my son. So yeah, that's a future project that I'm super excited about and can't wait to cast it on. So, but I do have to give myself some rules and yeah, just let this big pile, a huge pile, also bending pile, be a little bit smaller. You might ask what is with my Catherine Parr. It's the same situation. I just got stuck at the end on some little thing, and I just I can't be bothered to block it and finish it. But I really will do it for the next episode. I really So 3 projects to finish. Maybe I will finish these 2 and the Catherine Parr for you. In the light of that, I actually have one more project to show you. Okay, so this one was also a languishing project, and it's a linen dress, actually, and it's a maxi dress. It's a long linen dress in a lace weight linen yarn. Beautiful yarn that I ordered from Latvia or Lithuania, one of these countries. And I started using the pattern for the neckline that is maybe this is how you pronounce it, Sur by Albina Knits. Is Albina Knits? Oh my god, I forgot so much about the knitting. Anyway, you have the name here. the construction from that pattern for this dress here, the upper part, and I really like that kind of construction. And you can see on the original pattern it has also some lace work around here, which is beautiful, and probably I'm gonna add that because this turned out a little bit big here, but I like the coziness of it and how roomy that is, and it's really really lovely. And already the drape is fantastic, and didn't wash it yet. So, and this lace weight linen yarn, I was actually knitting it on 2mm needles, the whole garment, so that's kind of crazy. But you can see it's really see-through like this. So this is something that you wear on top of a shirt or something like that. Or I think it would be fantastic for the summer, really breezy. I just have to, yeah. But yeah, I'm loving it, and I love this light grey color and all of it. So probably it would be like really sweet to add a lace work here in more white or light blue color, a different color. So really recommend that pattern. It's like Almina's patterns are so smart and really different constructions which I'm drawn to, as you might know. Yeah, and so I finally finished it on my 2mm needles, a whole dress. Of course, the gauge, so I always have problems with gauge. It's just like my knitting is so loose that with some projects I go down as much as possible on needles, but that was also with my Catherine Parr. I didn't want to knit the whole thing on 3mm needles with such a thick yarn. So yeah, this is it. But I don't think I should like concentrate and knit tighter. That's what is natural for my hands and for me. So maybe you could say, if I am knitting so loose, I am a loose person. No, not at all. Okay, anyways, so really proud of this dress, and I figured I have so many garments that of course I try to make as much as I want or I can from my Make 9 and the chicken pullover, but I'm really loving the dresses. I realized I could wear so much more out of dresses. You know, it's like also trying to make more of linen or cotton dresses and things like this. I guess from one point with all the wool and with all those knitted garments, it's just you realize, okay, these are not wearing, these are still standing there, these I never wore. So maybe you remember I did a distache video, and yeah, and that was also the reason for that. So I'm really looking forward to more different type of yarns and different type of clothing, like cardigans, long cardigans and long dresses, and more of these, yeah, long cozy feelings. That's what I need. And something beautiful that I need to show you are these skeins that came from a beautiful viewer and friend from Canada. Thank you so much. Actually, I realized that we never said our names, and I don't have your name. And she also sent me some maple sugar. Yeah, this is like fantastic, like wow. And there was also a little felted bear in the package, but my son was playing with it and I couldn't find it. But look at this. This is her, I put her Instagram there, but this is her handspun, and it's like really fantastic. I'm just like so drawn to it. I never had like a handspun yarn in my hand before, I guess, and I'm thinking I really need to learn spinning, but for the winter, yeah, not this kind of busy times. And this also this beautiful teal and blue skein with very soft with silk in it. So yeah, she definitely remembered that I love blue. Yeah, thank you so much. That's wonderful. And other than that, life stuff, as you know, last time I was I was destashing some of my stuff and some of my knits, and also because I wanted solar power installed in the house. And thank you so much for everybody who bought a garment. Actually, 3 of you, and from 2 of you I already heard back a long time ago that you got your garment. But Rana, if you're listening to this, then yeah, get back to me. I want to know if you get your package. And so because of you guys, thank you so much, I was able to make very basic solar equipment or solar power here. I got the 2 panels from my dad, and the rest of it, I have it. I got 4 batteries are used, but they are working great. I wouldn't mind if they would be 8. I think it would be still better, but with this, it's like enough electricity now for lights and use a blender and charge your phones and everything. Charging is super fantastic. It was a little bit different and difficult in February when it was I only had them back then 2 batteries, and when the light, when there was no sunshine for 5-6 days, then you could feel that sometimes I emptied the batteries and it was gone for the night to have more power. Yeah, so, but it's such an upgrade, and I really hope if I do a little bit more steps, then I can have for the summer a refrigerator, yes, that I can have for the summer, a fridge. And also, like, still looking for a small fridge that is usable with this type of electricity. It's like very fluctuating, and somehow you get to know the things. And I only use, for example, blender when it's sunshine outside, or at least it's daytime. So try to save for the night as much as energy for the lights. And so yeah, so recharging, because it's always of surplus in the daytime, so trying to use that up for recharging everything and things like that. And yeah, so that's like a big step forward. It's really great, so I'm very happy about it. And other than that, probably you heard in the beginning, I'm a single mom now. And I'm okay, I feel good. It's I don't want to divulge too much of other people's problems on the internet. For me, it's just something that I think I'm gonna take this kind of lesson for the rest of, or this kind of understanding for the rest of my life. And it's just this one question: whatever, in what kind of situation you are or I am in, you can always ask like one question to yourself: can I live with it for the rest of my life? Can I live in this situation for the rest of my life? Can I handle this for the rest of my life? Do I want to handle this for the rest of my life? So, and if the answer is no, and you feel all this weight on yourself of fighting a battle that you can never win, and you feel like if the rest of your life looks like this, then it's very sad, then you have to change. It's very simple. So this is how sometimes relationships are, and I think it's perfectly fine. It's how to say, it's good for me myself also. I can say I tried it, and I can now say also that okay, I feel like getting back to myself again, like finding myself again. And yeah, I think it's nothing frightening about being a single mom. It's as much fun also. It can be as much fun also, like having a whole family. So yeah, this is the big big news. And there are so much to do around here because, as I said, trying to build a homestead. So my focus I do have some main areas in this year that I want to put my focus on. It's like to have a veggie garden as big as I can make, enough for us and even also for the winter, and can as much as possible. So to make as much as possible my own food and my own pizza sauce and my own gems, or maybe, and sauerkraut, absolutely, and kimchi. Oh my god, kimchi! I'm growing these Chinese cabbages that are all eaten by little like jumping flies from the ground, and I'm trying again and again, and all the cauliflower and the radishes. So, and of course, this place for to grow. The place where the good soil is, it's totally untamed. It's overgrown with nettles mostly, and all kind of those stuff. So I'm digging up everything by hand and picking out the roots and getting all the mulching and all in. So it's a lot of work, and we also just 2 days ago cut some trees around it because they were so huge and making too much shade for the veggie garden. So really a lot of work to prepare first the place, just planting the flowers and planting the seeds and the seedlings. It's the easiest and the most fun part, but before there is enough work. And the house is actually how to say, I am swallowed by plants here. I think I have like 50, if not 70 or more tomato plants. I grew so many tomatoes all from seed. And then of course my second big focus is cut flower garden. So I really want to try to somehow find a market for it around here and sell my cut flowers and take beautiful pictures of it. And just really trying my hand on different types of flowers, that not the usual zinnias and dahlias. I do have now extended my dahlia tuber collection, and I'm so happy that those that I put away last year survived. And then last year I only had 30 ranunculus plants. Now I have 130. That's a great one. And all this low tunnel, so it's so great to have a low tunnel. So it's a lot of plants. I'm just looking at them. They've taken over this room. So so this is my second big project, the cut flower garden. And then thankfully I have help. I have my very good friend from Iceland helping me, and also my dad is helping so much, a lot. So of course the third big focus when you are trying to have as much as possible self-sustainable homestead is sourcing the wood, the firewood for the winter. This winter was sometimes crazy cold, but this is normal here. I just never experienced it on a land like this, like how to say. We are also a little bit high up and around all the mountains and more exposed to the elements, but also a little oven, or how to call it, fireplace. It's not the best. It's not the most efficient. It's like eating the wood like crazy. So I was really astonished that all this big pile of wall of wood that we sourced last year from the property, they were all gone. So we had some minuses, like minus 21 degrees Celsius, and even sometimes where it was not expected, minus 15. I don't think we had minus 29. That was not this year. In some years we could go down to minus 30 something, but that's usually now it's rarely. But it was a beautiful, beautiful winter with a lot of snow, so like much more snow than before, and it was really lovely and really nice here. So that's great. So that's the third focus, the firewood. It's a big thing. Or making, actually, we're gonna make more efficient, with more thermal mass kind of fireplace for us. So that's gonna be great. And then we are right now, as I said, building a chicken coop. That's a mobile chicken coop, so it's called Chicken Tractor, and it's an A-frame. And I already have reserved 3 chickens for the start, and then later on baby chicks, so we can have fun to raising them. And that's also like a big one, because they can do some of the work that I should do. You know, like with this tractor idea, you put them in one place, they scratch the floor, you may prepare, you kind of like prepare the bed for you to plant in a little bit, and then you move them away, and then they can have the fresh grass and the fresh bugs all the time. And then the other project we are doing, we are making like a lovely veranda. We have to put a cover on the top to make it more livable, like an outside living space or living room. Super excited about that. And then for later on, and this is like my big dream, to have a polytunnel. So this is like, this is the life here, like plenty to do every day. Also with the flowers and the seedlings, so much babying, so much watering. I can't wait to put them outside in like already start. We have some nights we have frost, like exactly 0 degrees or something like that. But I already tried some of them to put them outside and see how they react. So yeah. Okay, but I have a separate channel for all that stuff. So thank you so much for if you stayed and listened. If you want to support the channel and support my homesteading life here and helping making my dreams come true, thank you so much. You can either watch my destashing video, and maybe you like something to purchase. I really want those garments to go to have space for myself. And also you can buy me a coffee, and thank you so much for all your love and all your help. And it's also really helpful if you just watch this episode and you give it a thumbs up, or comment with everything, comment with the pattern recommendations for my new yarns. Okay, she had some pattern recommendations, I will have to check out that. But still, and also, yeah, just big question, tell me, what do you do with all those languishing whips? Like, how do you motivate yourself? How do you put yourself there to get things done? Because sometimes it's really like the first step is like the hardest, but the rest is rolling. So it was so fun to talk to you guys again, and I really enjoyed recording this episode. Sorry if I was unclear sometimes, or I couldn't find the right words. I really want to take care of this channel and be here more, and just update you more, and yeah. So then keep the good vibes, and have a fantastic summer or spring, wherever it is in your area. And just talk to me. Bye bye.